Assalamu alaikum. This is about Mubarak Bala, who studied philosophy and claimed God doesn't exist. Now that is old science, actually. The idea of the belief of God is now beyond the realm of religion. It's now actually scientific. To say God doesn't exist now is actually either arrogance or ignorance. Let us go through his baseless allegation. Now let us look at this. Now even non-Muslim scientists do no more ridicule fasting. Why? Because it has now been found to be extremely beneficial to the body. Now, Islam encourages Muslims to emulate the Prophet ﷺ, who himself used to be a business mogul. Now, if Muslims actually violate this and ended up becoming poor by depreciating their money and stealing, now do you blame the people or do you blame God or Islam? That is unfair. And the idea that comparing the Prophet ﷺ with Joshua of Lagos doesn't even merit a comment. I'm not going to waste much time on that, since even the intellectually honest non-Muslim scholars have actually exonerated him. As Ani Basan said, it is impossible to know the Prophet ﷺ, to really know him and disrespect him. So by disrespecting the Prophet, you don't actually know the man. In fact, you're traveling outside and coming back, you are directly benefiting from Al-Islam. Why? The very first person who flew an object wasn't the Wright brothers, but actually Abbas Ibn Firnas, inspired by Surah Al-Mulk. Now, your flying and coming back safely wouldn't have been possible without computers. So you are actually benefiting directly from Al-Islam. Now let us go to the main point, that God doesn't exist. Darwin took it over and tried to, give it some scientific spin. It's a theory. It's thinking, an idea as revealed in Al-Quran over 1,400 years ago. In fact, when believers of God ask, well, if we say that we actually evolved from apes to human beings, there must be a point where there is ape human being. And it was Charles Dawson in 1921 who actually forged, by using the cranium of human being and the jaw of an ape, put them together, and they said that this is the proof. And guess what? For almost 40 years, from 1912 to 1949, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed them to actually mock God, and the believers, until it was exposed that it was forgery. Now, if you have real facts, you don't forge evidence. So Darwin theory is all science. So you have to, keep up with real science, brother. But now we've come to know that if you look at a common cell with about 2,000 different proteins synthesized from different amino acids, from, the spare parts of carbon, hydrogen, and nitrogen. If you look at the specific design, the delicate design in cells and how they operate, can never come about by chance. Even evolution scientists are now admitting that this cannot come about by chance. And if you look at our eyes, as it takes all the objects through the optic nerves through our brain to see. But if you look in the brain, if you look at the neurons, that's see. There is nothing in it. That sees. So who or what sees through our brain? Quran has the answer. So in the words of Professor Reeves, there is a possibility of great builder with a master plan. This great builder is whom we call God. Now, it doesn't really matter whether you call him Allah, Allah, or Elohim. To him belongs the best names. And as science is now advancing, the farthest galaxy is approximately 13.3 billion light years away. In other words, if you have to have a rocket or a plane or whatever that actually travels at a speed of 168,000 miles per second, it's going to take 13.3 billion years to get there. Now, we can do it. We can get there. We don't have an answer. That is the limit that we can see. But no scientist can claim that beyond that, there is nothing. It's just that we don't know. So the fact that we don't know, we can't actually dismiss that nothing is there. That's unscientific. When I was invited to deliver a lecture at BMCC, City University of New York, guess what? I threw the challenge. If anybody can scientifically prove to me that God doesn't exist, let him come forward. Nobody did. You know why? Because we can't. I mean, genetics, the study of genetics, molecular biology has now actually proven that everything follows in sequence. All these amino acids, they actually follow particular order in order to synthesize protein. And they also follow particular order in order to put things in order. Who is actually giving them the order? Because they are inanimate. They don't have consciousness. They don't have sense. They don't think. So why will you actually deny this fact? You have to actually upgrade yourself. Or is it because of arrogance? Why be arrogant? You don't even know where you came from. You didn't actually initiate your coming into this world. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is creating us male and female from XY chromosome or XX chromosome. As we gushing forth to our mother's womb, about 300 million spermatozoa, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually chooses one to make you, Mubarak Bala, chooses me. Or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can actually bring twins. You didn't choose to come into this world. Nobody in the world, not even the scientists, can say what is actually going in their body. Don't even talk about God, even yourself. So you are a baggage of 100 trillion ignorance. Even what we think we are in control, if you keep your hands for a while, whether you like it or not, it's going to drop. You don't have full control over yourself. You have not been created to be independent. Everybody believes and worships. The difference is who or what. And so, Mubarak Bala, you have to come up to speed. What you are saying is actually old science. Because now looking in the sky and looking within ourselves, it's now evident that there is a designer. And that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says over 1,400 years ago. Ba'da uzu billahi min shaitan rajim. Sanurihim ayatina fil afaq wa fi anfusihim hatta yatabayyana lahum annahu al-haqq. And so it's up to you to actually choose. You can either decide to worship or not. At the end of the day, it's your choice. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us free will. You answer to what you did. It's as simple as that. But the idea of God doesn't exist, sorry, it's old science. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the name of Al-Islam. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.